it's drop day. It's drop
Okay.
day. So I feel. Can you see me pretty good? The lighting in
Yeah,
here is
Yeah, I can see you
trash.
perfectly.
yeah, we can see you.
Okay.
Let me see here. Okay, well, I'm Kate Keith. I'm the editor in chief of Gaye magazine, and this is my writer Mykel. We're excited to be talking to you today. Seriously, I'm a fan of the show, and I actually just finished watching the full season of the new season.
Ooh,
And
that stresses
yeah.
that stresses me out a little bit because it's like it's so many opinions. You don't know which. Nah.
I guess, well, first, I did enjoy the show, definitely, for sure. I loved it. I loved it a lot, and I think the representation is good. My main thing for you is just, how does it feel to, play a character that's so impactful for the LGBT community, specifically the Black LGBT community? I'm not sure if I know you follow us on Instagram, but if you are familiar with our platform, our audience is primarily the Black LGBT community. And so when we posted the story of the episode of you guys, just chilling around the house and all of that good
Yeah,
stuff, it really went well and it was
yeah.
perceived very well. So I definitely want to get your take on the response.
Um, I at first, when I first did part one, I really had no idea if it was going to be well received. If you kind of question yourself, am I doing this right? Am I representing right? And when the show came out, I felt like I received this like flood of praise and so many thank yous in my DMs from so many different Black people, you know what I mean? So many different Black men that had, telling me about their coming out journey, how much I gave them the courage to come out to their dad, to their mom. And I just honestly wasn't expecting that because I was so focused on the work and I was so focused on doing Bernard justice that I didn't really realize how many people that I was going to help, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so it was, and as an actor, as an artist, I feel like the roles are so fulfilling. The ones that you get that help heal people, and I just feel like Bernard has helped healed so many people, has helped, so many people with their confidence and just brought light to a lot of coming out journeys. I think he showed a different, I guess it's so nuanced. You get to see like in his coming out to his dad, he's boxing. He's like it's a sport. He's coming out. He punches his dad, saying, "Yeah, I'm gay. Like this is me." I think it wasn't the tears and it wasn't the whole thing. It was like I'm standing on my
Mm-hmm.
shit and wait, can I curse? I'm standing on it, and this is who I am. And um,
Yeah.
and I just love that, So it was done very differently, and I felt like a lot of people could really relate to that. So it feels really good to. It's like an act of service, It feels like I'm giving back in some ways, and I think those roles again are the most fulfilling, the ones where you can help heal someone, you can help someone feel seen. So I think
Mhm.
I I helped a lot of people feel heard and seen, in different ways.
Yeah, definitely. You have. For sure. And I love the fact that you are coming to the role very seriously in that way and wanting to, give justice to the community as far as
Yeah.
representation. Okay, now I know we don't have a lot of time, but I definitely want to give my personal opinion
Uh-oh.
a little bit, just because I've seen the show and I've seen the new season, and
Right.
without, because I know we plan on sharing this story without giving too much away and kind of spoiling it for people.
Yeah.
I will say I want to be a little critical on. I really want the show to give you more scenes, man. Like,
I agree. Be super critical.
yeah,
No, I understand that, and this season I got promoted to a series regular, so we're actually filming part four right now. So I think that they are diving a bit deeper into Bernard's life and storyline because I do think that it is so much to do. Like there's so much story to tell with this character. There's so many different conversations that we can spark. And as you saw in this new season, I feel like
mm-hmm.
there are moments where people are going to agree with Bernard, and then there are moments that are not. And I think that you just get to see his journey a little bit more. You get to, because there is no manual, to living Bernard's lifestyle or whatever. And so he's just trying to figure it out. And then, there's bumps in the road. And I think that we are going to dive a bit more deeper into that because we have to, because it's so necessary and it's so needed. But I'm with
Yeah.
you. I was just telling Kim the same thing, where not necessarily that I wanted, more scenes, but hey, anytime I can get more camera time, that's fine too. But
Yeah.
um, I do want to dive deeper into the story. I do want to I want him to meet the parents. I want all these things to happen, that we didn't get to see in the first three parts. So we still have a
Yeah.
lot of episodes left for part four. So keep putting all that energy out there because I'm with you on that.
Please do. Yeah, definitely. And that's what I want to another thing I want to say is just because even as an actor, I really want actors to be very huge advocates for their character. You know what I'm saying? Because at first watching the season, I got a vibe of like, oh, they're chickening out on the story a little bit. And
Yeah,
then I had to wait until kind of the end to kind of pick that
yeah,
up with you and what's going on in your life. And a lot of people in my eyes are kind of coming to the show knowing that you're going to be a series regular.
yeah.
And we want more of those scenes between you guys, you know what I'm saying? And so definitely I just implore you to, definitely just keep using your voice to advocate, hey, we should be using more scenes.
Yeah.
Like let's add the story a little bit quicker, a little
Yeah.
bit early on,
No,
and don't edge us too much. But I get it. The writing does it. You guys do a great job with wrapping up everything. The
yeah.
finale of the show is like,
Did you
okay,
like
I'm
the
ready.
finale?
Yeah, I love the finale, and we people gonna have some thoughts on it for sure. So I'm definitely ready for the next part already. And it just came out.
And I think a lot of it is because we have such an ensemble cast, and we have, everyone's story has to be told. Aaliyah in
Right.
high
Yeah.
school and in the marriage, and but I do think that they touch on Bernard. They touch on his relationship, but they also touch on him as a father. They touch on him.
Yeah, it's very
Uh,
healthy, very well
yeah,
rounded. I see.
right.
Honestly, it's not overkill, but it's
Right. I
good.
don't
Yeah.
think that they make his sexuality his identity, but I do think that people want to see more of him and his partner and like what they're gonna do. And all. I think that like a lot of the Upshaw fans want to see that.
Mhm.
But I love the way they do it. I love the way they I guess humanize it in a way. They don't make it so much about his sexuality because it's just his sexuality is just who he sleeps with or who he finds attractive. So I do love the way they show him in different ways versus just showing him in his relationship and going through that. So, but I hear
Yeah,
you. I'm definitely going to use my voice though.
definitely.
It's bigger than
For sure. Mykel, did you have anything? I know I'm taking up all the questions, bro.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I to piggyback off of you, I want to say, I'm absolutely happy to see you up. And, when I saw that, announcement go out, I was absolutely happy because when I watched, the first season, I was like, this guy is good. Like, I want to see way, way, way more of him. So,
yeah.
congrats for that.
Thank you for that, man. That really means a lot because today I was telling everybody, we call it the Upshaws Day on set today. But I was telling everybody I'm just so nervous because you just never know how people are going to receive your work, And so for me now, for people to receive it well, at least for now, because they love you today, they hate you tomorrow, but we'll deal with that later. But for it to be so well received and my character especially, like I feel elated. I feel really good. So thank you for that, man.
Great,
For
great.
sure,
And
for sure.
I did want to ask, just for a thought, just because this character, we haven't seen this type of dynamic in a show in a very long time. And for me, I grew up on a show called Noah's Ark, and I did want to get your thoughts on if you ever heard of that show, if you ever watched that show before, and do you understand just how long it's been since we've even seen a character that way? So I kind of just want to get your thoughts on that.
I've never seen Noah's Ark, I've heard of it, and I actually have met I think Daryl Stevenson's right. Daryl
Daryl
Stevens.
Stevens. Yep.
I met him, a super cool guy. And I think I do realize that it has been a very long time. I mean, it does feel even to me like a breath of fresh air to see this type of character on a sitcom, and again, it not be like this caricature, just not this, it be good representation. I think that's important too, because I feel like if you're gonna show representation, you have to show that character in the full character in its full. It's not like one side of them. So I do think that we do a really good job at representation and visibility. So yeah, I think I'm slowly getting the impact. I think I'm so focused on the work, I'm so focused on, being an actor that sometimes I forget just how impactful it is.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I'm slowly getting it for sure.
Yeah, we don't want to overwhelm you, of course. We don't
No,
want to
it's
give you too
true.
much anxiety.
No, I think I'm a super like heady person, so I'm always in my head about my performance and this and that, and I think most actors are like that. We're artists and we're sensitive about our craft or whatever. So I think when you add that and you add your impact, it's like, man, it could be so much at one time, and then on top of that, not having all the answers, because I do think now that I'm in this space that even doing interviews like this, I feel like I have to have all the answers. Like I have to know all the things about the community and this and that. And I'm like, some things I'm learning with everyone else. I'm watching the show and I'm like, man, that's interesting. That's an interesting take that Bernard has on this entire situation. And then when people see this season, they'll see, exactly what I'm saying. But yeah, so I'm learning as I go too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I have one more question, but I want to give Mykel anything you got me on.
I just want to say, I really do appreciate your, willingness to learn and, grow, with us and learn and stuff like that. I did want to ask you, what's your favorite part so far of, what's your favorite part of playing the character just in general?
You know what? I think since it's a multicam sitcom, it's the family dynamic. I think so that we come in on a Monday, we get the script Thursday night, we do like a table read, and every Wednesday night we again we get a new script because we have a table read on Thursday, and we never know what our character is going to do. So I think just being able to play different, play out different scenarios. I get like I can't say what it was, but in the upcoming season, I get to do something completely different, And so I'm always on pins and needles, like, okay, what is Bernard going to be? Is he going to be in the bed with his partner this time, or is he going to be at the club? Is it going to be his birthday? So as we get the script, it's like I'm watching the show myself. So I'm just excited to exercise physical comedy. I'm excited to talk about different topics that maybe make some people uncomfortable. So I think just the constant change, I love that, just about the whole sitcom format itself, not so much Bernard, because I love acting, so you know what I mean. I love storytelling, so that whole thing. I tell one or the other, give me all of it this season. Let's tackle everything. So I think the challenge is what I'm most excited about. When in terms of playing this character.
I love that. I love that. And I guess I definitely want to ask, how does it just feel to be on set, next to the greats? I'm not sure. I'm sure you probably answered the question before, but the fact that you can even just be next to Mike Epps, that's like super dope. I'm like a huge fan of him, as well as Wanda Sykes. I know she's, one has spearheaded this show. I'm very curious on the type of conversations you have when it comes to the dynamic of the show and just how involved they have been when it comes to the script and stuff like that. How has it been working alongside them?
I think a better question is to ask them how has it been working alongside me. But
okay.
No. No, I'm joking. That's absolute joke. No, I mean, I say this all the time. It's still surreal. I've been working with them now for going on 3 years, and I still have moments where I'm like, man, I'm really in a scene right now with Mike Epps. Like we really going back and forth, doing physical comedy. I grew up watching this guy. Wanda the same thing. I was just watching the Clumps. Forgot she was the hairstylist in the Clumps. Kim Fields, I was just watching Living Single. So sometimes I get so in my head about it. But I think most importantly, like I've learned so much from them because they all three have different styles of comedy. So they taught me my lane, you know, and I think in just watching them work and watching them because you know, Kim Fields comes to work, but she don't come to work thinking like I'm Kim Fields. She comes to work like, all right, we gotta make this show great. Like, what can I do to make this scene better? What can I, whatever. So you pick up on that. And, you know, so for me now, when I see them, it just makes me go harder because they show you every time why they've been in this business 20 plus years, 30 plus years. So I've just learned a lot about how to have longevity in this business. So
I love that. That's dope. That's so dope. Well, yeah, I really appreciate it for you taking the time to talk about this. I'm really glad that you are totally taking this role serious and that you're understanding the impactfulness, but at the same time, you're really serious about, you know, just the skill and the craft. You know what I'm saying? And I think that is so admirable. And it's going to allow people who are part of the community and want more roles like this to really see themselves. And I think it's going to just empower people to make more roles like this. And so I think that's really, really dope. If you had to give any advice to someone who is coming out, who's on that cliff, who may be in the closet or anything like that, what would you say to them just based off of your experience of playing this character and maybe, you know, the conversations that you had to have, you know, preparing for the role? What would be your advice to someone like that?
I think that is such a difficult thing. But I think as I've grown up, you know, in my own life, it wasn't until I really became who I was that things start opening up for me. You know, it wasn't until I accepted just all the things about myself, and that's when the doors really open. So I think for me, it's just understanding that it will be difficult, but it definitely will make you stronger. And I feel like someone told me God can't bless who you pretend to be, you know? So I think showing up your full self knocks down all the limitations, all the boundaries, and the things will really start to flow to you. So.
I love that. I love that. That's a quote right there. We're writing that down. Well, thank you, Jermelle. I think that's our time. Thank you, Madison, for you know, coordinating this for us and everyone involved. So I really appreciate it. I'm excited for the next season. Y'all need to hurry up. Look, TikTok, because I'm ready.
Get them out fast enough.
I really appreciate you, brother. And please definitely stay in touch. Anything that you have going on, if you're doing anything, of course, in regards to the community, definitely hit up Gaye Magazine. Let us know. We're here to support. And yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.